Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2018 drama thriller Rust Creek, a film that primarily stars an actress called Hermione Caulfield, who I've not seen in anything previously. And this focuses on her character Sawyer, who we see at the beginning of the film. She gets offered a job interview somewhere across the country that she has to drive to get there, and it's a big deal, is this job interview. You can see she's very pleased about it. She heads off, uses her phone as her satellite navigation, sets off, manages to get lost on this back road, and then she runs into these two hillbilly types who think she's witnessed something, but she hasn't. She was just lost, and try and abduct her. She fights herself free, runs off into the woods. She's injured, and it then becomes a fight for survival. And along the way, she's rescued by somebody who may have a connection to these two hillbilly types, and it turns out that there's actually a huge drug operation going on in these woods, and they're making they're cooking meth in this caravan, and there is corruption taking place in the local police department, and it's all connected to these hillbillies, and they can't afford witnesses, so they have to hunt this girl down and find her, basically. Now that is the basic plot outline of this film. Now this film is a very watchable film that looks great. It's got some lovely cinematography going on, and the central performance by Hermione Caulfield is excellent. This is an excellent actress here, and she plays a properly strong badass female character that takes no crap from nobody, basically. And you see that at the beginning of this film. She absolutely kicks the crap out of these two guys initially and fights herself free, and it was really cool to watch. And that continues throughout this film. She's a very good, strong female character, and she heads up this film tremendously, and it really works because of that. I think if they'd miscast her role, this film would have been a massive misfire, I think. But she does a wonderful job, and I would keep an eye out for this actress. The main issue with this film is the pacing. It's terribly slow pace for the majority of it, and I do remember thinking at one point, we're about 25 minutes into the film, and I was watching it and thinking, okay, she's in these woods now, she's injured, and this film's for like an hour and 45 minutes long. I'm thinking, where the hell are they going to go with this? They've got like another hour and 25 minutes to go. What are they going to do? And I was worried, and they did manage to fill that space, but it was quite slow paced. I think this film would have benefited greatly from a good maybe 15 minutes trimmed from it, to speed up the pacing of the film. It slows down massively when she's rescued by somebody in this film, and she thinks it's somebody else who's abducted her initially, but it turns out it isn't, and she starts building this trusting bond with this person. Oh my god, the film slows down to a snail's pace, and you just want it to get on. And then when that bit starts, the corruption of the local police department storyline kind of kicks in, but that's not particularly interesting to watch to me, because I could see what was coming a mile away, because the person who eventually is revealed to be the kingpin behind it all, you can see it coming a mile away, because the actor and the performance that is put on screen is so slimy and creepy. You're just kind of thinking, that's the baddie, and it was too obvious to me, and that I think that was either a poor performance or it was poorly written character from my perspective, and it kind of spoiled the film a little bit for me, that. But a tremendously watchable film. I was pleasantly surprised with this film. The premise of it didn't particularly sound interesting to me, but I thought I would give it a go, because I like these sort of survival over the elements type movies, and there are some aspects of that, but thankfully it's not just that. It does spread off and try different storylines and things, but they don't all work, and there's a couple of plot holes here and there that are never really fully explained. For example, I'll give you one example. There is a shooting that takes place outside the police department, the local police department. Now, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere here, but it is in like the centre of town, pretty much, it felt like. And there's a shooting takes place outside it, and nobody seemed to notice or care. The county sheriff that gets involved was about as much use as a chocolate fireguard. He was useless. Don't know why it was there. So there's a couple of things that didn't really work here in this film, but I did enjoy it. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I think it could have been better if they'd have trimmed off a good 10 or 15 minutes from the film and edited it slightly different to speed up the pacing of the movie. But I think it's a well-made film. It's reasonably well polished. And like I say, some of the cinematography is really, really nice. So yeah, a bit of a nice, pleasant surprise, this film, and I do think it is certainly worth a watch. So I hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and I shall see you next time on Screen Stars.